Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Robert Lyon here with Gennady Nadarov. Today, we're going to be talking about wealth. We're going to be your wealth coaches for the next probably 30 minutes. We're going to blow your mind. So there's a lot of different factors that go into wealth, right? I mean, in order for you to truly become wealthy, I believe you have to have ownership. You have to have assets. You have to have skills. It's not just like one shoe fits all. And I actually believe the old way people were trained on how to get wealthy. It's like get a job, put money into like a 401k, invest in the stock market. Like I just don't think that's the accurate way of wealth. And I guess we maybe let's start with the definition of wealth. What's your definition of wealth? What do you think of when someone's trying to become wealthy?
Yeah, it's a good question actually. What defines wealth? Well, to me, wealth is, um, you know, equity, equity and either businesses or assets that bring in continuous cash flow. So and basically, being wealthy means you have your money is invested or has been seasoned for a certain period of time and is now producing income or cash flow based on the assets or equity that you own in a business. And wealth is a combination of owning assets and having cash flow. Passive cash flow is what true wealth is, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, you could also argue true wealth is like freedom, right? But
Yeah.
I think for the sake of this conversation, it's like maybe both. Maybe it's like I think Warren Buffett's thing was like you got to make money while you sleep, or you're gonna, die broke, basically. And like I think that's what wealth is. You have some sort of an asset that's making you money while you sleep, so that
Yeah.
you can like continue to grow, right? You own something that's continuously growing, or like you were just literally telling me yesterday, you're like, I want you to think about real estate more as somewhere to park your money, right? And I was like, it is the ultimate place to park your money, because you put half a million into this thing, it sits there, but it pays for itself because somebody lives in the house, it pays off the rent, and it still and it goes up in value, right? I mean, you probably saw the most growth, like because you were actually buying houses in like the good time, like a decent time. Like I
Yeah.
would say,
I
like we're at
bought
like
when the
10x
crash,
almost.
well, right after the crash, 2009, right? 2008,
Yeah.
2009. I was just getting out of college and I was like, everybody was scared, and I was like, oh, this is a good time to buy a house.
Yeah, I
I
think
was
you
like,
nailed it.
I was like, this is the best time to buy a house. But no, you're absolutely, the worst time is the best time.
Right.
So the
When
worst
there's
time is
blood
the
on the
best time.
streets, I think when there's blood in the streets is when you should be like buying
Yeah,
shit.
yeah,
That's what they say for
exactly.
real estate.
If it's bleeding on the street or if it's bleeding in the stock market, you want to be buying it, right?
Yeah.
No, I absolutely. You hit it. Freedom, being free, financial freedom, is a equivalent to being wealthy.
Right.
Time is most. I would. If we're talking about like what true wealth is true wealth is having the time to do what you want when you want and how you want to do it. Whatever you don't want to do, you can do it. You don't have to waste
Mm,
your time working to make money.
yeah.
So your assets make money for you. So you can do what you want and spend the time with your family, your parents, your grandparents if they're still around. Like that time is priceless. I wish my grandma was still around, but they're not. So I have to appreciate the time I had with them, knowing that they're going to be gone, and that time is not available for you anymore. So same thing goes with your current situation, with your family, your friends, anybody around you. Your time is running out. What are you going to do about it, right? So it's like you want
Yeah.
to spend your time wisely, and it definitely doesn't mean to be working to make money.
Yeah. Well, sorry, I didn't mean to smirk when you were talking about your
Yeah,
grandma, but what I was thinking about was like is basically like for wealth, like if I ever had to say wealth is fucking ownership, right? It's owning an asset that's constantly making money, But then there's kind of the level that you're at, where it's like you have fuck you money, right? And I
Yeah.
kind of want the Credit Leverage X program to not like it's yes, let's get you to wealth, but then let's get you past wealth to like fuck you money. You know what I mean? Like where you can just basically do what you want, have your freedom. I think that's my definition of wealth if I had to.
I agree with you. I agree. That's a good one. Like the FU. We're gonna put a shirt. It's gonna say "FU money."
Yeah, the path
You
the
know,
path to FU money.
um, and you're right. It is about FU money. It's about the
Yeah.
fact that you have money because it's compound interest and compound growth, right? As you're compounding your money is constantly growing, and what happens is your money is multiplying. So when you're multiplying money, you don't have a limit of how much money you can make. This is an unlimited opportunity that you have in front of you when you're invested with Credit Leverage X, because this is a microeconomics. Okay, you know, I did go to school. I have an engineering degree, but besides that, it's very straightforward. Any person off the street that has minimal to low level high school education can understand that when money is multiplied and it brings a return, money makes money. So when you make your money make you money, you no longer have to create money through labor or time. We now we moved away from labor and time. We're no longer in time and space. We are in a
Yeah.
different dimension, right? So a different dimension in the sense money doesn't work in time and space unless you attach money to time. So when you detach money from time, you're no longer attaching yourself to that physical realm of having money and cash as a wealth management system. You now are kind of floating in the clouds where your money is kind of like, you put the money into the cloud, the money gets worked, spits money back down into your reality, right? It's just like going up and down basically. But the whole idea of money being a tool is the same reason that wealth is built, and why wealth is built, in order to create freedom, because you no longer attach money to either time or labor.
I mean, I think I definitely want to make a new section for path to fu money. You know what I'm
This is
saying?
this is
But
this is like, it's a little higher level understanding, but it's a very straightforward concept if you think about it. If you're all you're thinking about is how do you become wealthy, well, it doesn't mean your time. Your time cannot be spent making money. It
right,
doesn't mean you're gonna put in hard labor. Hard labor doesn't make you money. As much as we think working hard is good, but if you're working on the right things, you cannot be working. If you're digging a hole and you're gonna get paid a certain amount of money to get that hole dug, you're still having to put hard labor into it. Unless you have other people doing the work for you, and then you can get a return on that labor. That's different. Now you're leveraging other people, not your time, not your labor. So you have to be
yeah,
able to leverage, right? That's what credit leverage is all about. It's about leveraging other people, leveraging other assets like money. Money is just an asset that you can use, and then use that to create more assets or more wealth, and use that to buy people's time. When you start buying
yeah,
people's time, you start multiplying your money. And because you only have 8 to 10 to 12 hours out of your day, you cannot do 30 different things. I run 5 6 businesses uh, without using any of my time. Okay. My time is spent on overseeing the businesses, making sure things are running in the right direction. There's certain things that are happening. We have to maintain those things. Systems of operations have to be put in place, which you're very familiar with. Once those systems are in place and the time is no longer allocated for us, we are no longer depending on that time. But you have to create that system starting from the micro level, which is using your money to put into investment opportunities to create passive income, which allows you to use the money that you made off your passive income to access other assets to do the same. And you just create this continuous loop. But it's leverage. It's taking a little bit of a risk, but it's not a risk if you think about it. What's more risky? Not to take a risk and live your life 30 years, going to college, getting your education,
depending
going
on
to
some
work.
big corporation to take
Exactly.
care of you.
What's more risky? What's nowadays? Let's be honest. What's more risky
Yeah,
is you working for a job, even the government. Okay, I'm not even talking about private companies. I'm talking about working for the United States government right now. How stable are we?
I
Right?
mean, if you're I think if you're paid by the government, you're probably okay. But if you're like a sub part of a government, or you're like an unnecessary part of a government, you're not looking too good. At any
Right,
moment, you could lose your
right.
job. You know what I
But
mean?
yeah, and I believe that we're not stable at all. But at the end of the day, because I've worked in the government, and I think there's a lot of the money is mismanaged. Okay, when management is at the highest level, at the highest level, when the money is mismanaged at the highest level, the money is printed, and that's why we have inflation. So essentially, and who hurts the most is the poverty. The poor people hurt the most because their money is now not worth as much. They can't go buy a loaf of bread for $1. They're going to spend $5 to buy that loaf of
You
bread.
can't buy anything for $1.
Yeah. So, I'm just being like hypothetical, but at the end of the day,
Yeah.
it's like, I think that, you don't want to depend on anything or anyone, but the only way you can depend on anything is the people. The people can essentially create their own microeconomics, because essentially the people are the ones that have the money, and the money that's being spent is essentially on things that are going to create more money. So if Credit Leverage X is going to create more money for people, then they're able to invest money with us in order to create more wealth for themselves. So it's like it's the same concept of buying a house. You buy a house, you hope that house goes up in value, and then you can leverage the house to buy more property, right? But it's all about finding deals, right? And if you're able to find good deals, then you can make more money. And it's a skill set. You have to learn it. But at the same time, if you had a way to put your money to work without you having to work for it, then you are creating passive income, and you're creating wealth, like you're saying, which is FU money, and not have to actually work for that extra $3, $4, $5, which is what you originally put in. Let's say $1, and you got $3 or $4 out of it. That $4 wasn't, you didn't have to put any more effort, any more work to get it, and now you're able to leverage that money to create more money.
Yeah, I've got two things I want to talk about. That
Yeah.
it's like the new way that I actually do think of wealth, that I think we're on the path right now, is like, first you create the system, right, which is like Credit Leverage X, and then you create your own economy, right? So like, if you and like when I say your own economy, it's like your business has a lot of value, but then the business branches into other things that feed each other, and then all of them make money off of each other, right? And now you have your own economy. You're not even like, yes, we use the US dollar, but it's like this business pays this bit, like we'll say like trade
Yeah.
lines pays this business, the investments pay this business, and then like it grows to the point where it's just a self-sufficient economy where the money comes in and it doubles as it goes around the economy, you know what I mean, that you've put together. And it's just like with real estate, right? So first you build the system to buy the real estate. Now you own a bunch of real estate. Now you buy property management, so you create a property management company. Now you create a construction company. Now you create whatever the hell else there is in that economy. And then now you have all these businesses, a title company, you know what I mean? You have a VA company that fucking calls all the leads. And that's how you create an economy. That's like my next level of wealth. I'm always striving for.
You're talking about BlackRock and Vanguard.
Well, yeah, that's what I want to be. I'm not, they better watch out. Like, it's coming.
Credit Leverage is coming to compete with them.
Well, but I mean, that's what I think of as, like, if I had to define what I would look like a true wealth, is I would be, at the top managing. Not first you create the system, right? First you create your foundation. Right? That's your financial foundation. You pay all your bills. You're not fucking worried about money. Now you can start to invest, but you shouldn't be investing in things that people can print. Like even stocks and cryptos and all this shit that's like not real world shit. You should be making real world decisions to own your own economy. Like, have your own cash flowing system, take that cash flowing system, branch out on it, and make it even bigger, so that all the money that comes in goes through your pockets first, right? At some point, and it comes from different angles, and you have different opportunities, and then it's like water, right? I mean, the main thing with currency is like cash flow, currency, it's all money, right? So you want all of the water flowing into your little economy, and then you just build this big lake, and you have your own little I don't know. I forget what it's called. Like where all the fish live in like the little reefs or whatever, right? But but that's what I think of when it's true wealth. It's like
I have a good image that I can help you visualize what you're explaining. Basically, what you're saying is you're gonna have one entity that creates multiple entities that generate income into the original entity as a form of like feed each other, right? So, and it's like the image I look at it, and I have stuck with me ever since I graduated college, as when I was working as an intern at at one of these these defense system contractors, and I was working there. And I was like, oh man, these are so cool! Like all these like cool images, and I was like, I wonder what they all mean. And there's like tigers and dogs and all this random stuff. And I'm like, what is all that symbolizing? And then I saw an image of a globe with an octopus all around it, right? Just like all its hands all around it, and it's just like this continuous like hands in all things and everything. The hands are in everything. So that's how the defense systems, the corporations are operating. They're operating in an octopus standard, which is their hands are in. They've been in the AI way long before we ever got it. They've been in all these microeconomics and dealing with like creating health, medical, all the realms, real estate. You're talking about like different divisions of wealth, right? And every one of these areas is essentially a hand that is being fed, or that is being, the products being sold in that area, or there's some kind of investment in that area, whether it's another company that's doing some work. If they're trying to cure cancer, for example, they'll invest money into a specific organization. When the pandemic happened, they were investing money into the vaccinations and how they were going to spend that money, where that money was going to come from. Those are investment opportunities as well, because that money is going to come out in vials, and then those vials are going to support the whole economy essentially, and somebody has to pay for it, and it's going to be the government in this case. But the corporations, were the for-profit corporations, we're making a lot of money, and everybody is making money no matter what, right? So, but you just have to realize, where do you want to be, and what departments or what areas do you want to operate at, and if that's going to be in the financial realm or in the real estate realm, which is where we are, financial, real estate, and maybe a little bit of AI. That's all campaign marketing, of course, but that's kind of part of financial. I would say financial and real estate, but those are combinations of marketing isn't everything. So that's the thing about marketing. Marketing, you can, if you're in marketing, you're basically in all things and everything that's open to the public. And then if you're into real estate, that's kind of also a fact that everything requires real estate. In this building that I'm in, the house that my house is a building, your house is a building, that's an asset. And then also you have the AI stuff that's coming out, the AI stuff, which is like additional, other forms of opportunities. Like, if you're doing something online and you want to use AI to do that, you can help yourself create that extra flow of income without having to do the work. That's why AI is so powerful, because essentially what does it do? It does work for you. So it's like any work that you do, if you're not spending time to do it, then you're actually saving time. You're saving time, which is essentially you're saving money, and by saving money, which is is just as good as time, you're gonna make more money. So the less you spend, the less time you spend, the more you make, the more profitable it is.
Yeah, I think it's just, but yeah, you gotta have a wealth mindset. So now I want to go into my little. I mean, you're the millionaire, so I want to just talk to you about this wealth ideas of how to set yourself up, how to really get to wealth. So step one, I think we've already talked about, is just get some fucking income, right? You got to start somewhere. Everybody has to get a skill, right? I would recommend a skill over a job, but you got to get that income. You got to get that coming in. And then you got to save some money, right? They say you should have at least like 3 months of expenses, like in a savings account somewhere. So like if shit hits the fan, you have that. So you're not,
at least 6 months. I would recommend
3 to 6 months, right? Yeah. But here's the cool thing that I want to I was literally looking at the SoFi bank accounts last night, because I'm trying to build this little program that we're doing, and I want to coach people on the wealth. And they have these cool buckets that you can basically do, where you put all your money into SoFi, but then you can save for certain things, right? So you can have one, they call it a vault in your bank account. So you have one vault for vacations, one vault for, a down payment on a house, and you can start to save your money, but you can also invest into the stock market. So this is the question I wanted to kind of bring to you is, I think people should automate their investing. I mean, if you're an intelligent investor and you have time to really do kind of what you did, where you went out house hunting and every day. But I think for the normal everyday person in the corporate world, or who has a job, I think that the money should go into their account. I think some of it should go into these buckets for things they're trying to save, and then I think some of it should be automatically invested into, either the stock market or something along those lines. And I think you should automate it, right? And then the next step is to get the life insurance that we're always talking about, right?
Yeah.
So first you set your foundations, right? You basically can pay your bills, blah blah blah. You're ready to go, and then I think once you have that automated, now you're ready to leverage some credit, right? So
Yeah.
you basically get that credit, because in order to even have life insurance, don't you have to put like 80K into it? So most Americans don't just have 80K chilling on the sidelines.
I mean, not necessarily. No, that's only because I had the money to put in there. But I would say, you don't have to do that. The whole point of
So you can just put anything into life
you can
insurance.
You can start with, when you have a cash value life insurance, you can start with as little as $1,000, right?
Okay,
Just
cool.
that you're not gonna have money to leverage, right? The whole point of a
Yeah.
cash value life insurance is like acting like a bank. It's like, well, if you have $1,000 in the bank, then why open up a life insurance? You know what I mean? It's like it doesn't make sense. So you have to have a good amount of money essentially kind of set aside where you want to throw it at something like, instead of a house, throw it at life insurance. And then when you throw it at life insurance, what's nice about life insurance is it acts like a credit line almost. Like you can use it. I just actually, you know what? This is great. I have my check right here. It just came in the mail, $50,000, and not a trust. So it's like, this
cover those numbers. Yeah, that's cool.
So it's like you can edit this later, but essentially, this is like, long story short, is your freaking $50,000 check. There you go.
So you can use that 50K to go buy a house or do whatever you want.
Exactly. I invested my money into my life insurance. And I was able to take the money out, and now I'm using this money to go buy this real estate property that I told you about that we're about to close on. So it's like,
you're savage.
So I'm already doing it, and at the point is like, the only way you're gonna be able to do that is you need to have a good chunk of money. Just like you said, you got to create income, have the income come in, use the money, invest it. Have the income come in, use the money, invest it. So once you have that, that's where you're gonna basically be able to kind of like invest your money that's already being used for somewhere else. And the cool thing about this is that you're able to multiply your money. But that's high level stuff. Let's start with let's go back to where people are at, which is how do I create income, right?
Create more streams of income.
What do I do to create more? Exactly. What do I do to create more streams of income or more bigger streams of income? And how do I go about doing that to create wealth in the future, so I can use my money to make me more money, and eventually be able to use that money to buy assets like real estate, cars, life insurance, or whatever. Because those are just, like I said, places to put your money. They're just buckets. They're just like little buckets. Here, put my money here. I want to sit here. I like, if that bucket is going to be useful, it's going to generate income, then that's what we're going to do. It's like, if I have a property that's generating income, I'll keep that property. There's properties that may be used for other reasons. Like you might have a warehouse. Like I think you mentioned, you have a warehouse. You might now use that warehouse to rent it out. You might not use that warehouse to do other things. You might use it for your own purposes, but it still generates income if you use it for the right purpose. So it's all a matter of what you use it for, the purpose of that real estate or that property. And then, or you can buy a business, like ours. Instead of, if you can't invest into our business, you can invest into our campaign marketing, which allows you to get a return on the investment, which is already established. You're not worried about marketing, branding. You're not worried about image. You're not worried about followers. You're just worried about, like, where do I put my money and how to get a return? And that's what Credit Leverage X is all about. We created a system for everybody to be able to put their money in and get a return on their investment. We're backed by the company, right? Essentially. But on top of that, imagine realizing you had all the money in the world. Where would you put that money, right? You would put it in a place where it's safe, right? You know that money is safe, and that money is going to sit there and is going to generate income for you. Now, if you put it into a house or a real estate that you may or may not know is going to be successful, you're taking a risk. Same thing with cars. You buy a car, and the car might not rent, or it might not make you money if you're going to put it on the market. At the end of the day, there's always a risk. So in order to remove that risk, you need to be able to have the right players and coaches to give you that edge, which is what we're doing now. We're giving you guys the knowledge in order to change your lives and start affecting reality today, not yesterday. And then once you start doing that by fixing your credit, getting access to the money, so other people's money, we're going to start to be able to use that money to help you invest and passive income opportunities today while you're working your job. So that way, once you start making that money, it'll take this pressure off your chest or your neck, and you're going to feel a little less stressed out when you got another couple of grand coming in every month that you didn't have to work for. Okay, so it's like this is the game changer. I think that's what all Americans need, is they need passive income now, like now, especially because of inflation, because of the cost of the cost of living, because of rents going up. All this stuff is affecting people's lives. So we need as a people, we need to create a system for ourselves to be able to survive this wave of literally a wave of continuous debt that's happening in our country right now.
Super debt wave.
Yeah.
But I think you nailed it. But I wanted to add a couple things, I guess. The other thing is, like, so first you gotta get it some income, right? Save some money aside for your foundation. But I think you also need to learn how to break your own bad habits, right? A lot of people think, oh, when I get rich, I'll have discipline. You know what I mean? Or I'll start doing other things. Like, no, you got to take care of that shit right now. And I think relationships is a big key, like you just said. But anyways, I think I was on the right track. So it's like, first, get some fucking income, set yourself up for success, and then automate when you do get the income. Like, even have it set up. Okay, once I start getting income, even if I only make $30,000 a year, 5,000 goes into my first home payment. This goes into this. This goes into this. This goes into this, and then you can start joining Credit Leverage X and really start to improve your credit score, get access to capital, and then when you finally do get the income finally really coming in, now you already have it automated so that you're not gonna self-sabotage yourself. You're going to be disciplined. You're going to be able to use that money to make yourself wealthy, right? And then you're always going to be looking for, I talk about it a lot, but you're going to be looking for, your fat pitch or your big opportunity or the thing that's going to take you to that next level. Like for you, Gino, it was 2009. You figured out how to buy a house, right? That was the great opportunity that you had, and that's when wealth is really made, right? That's when we have those windows, and you just have to take full advantage of it. And you always need to be reading books and preparing yourself for whenever you get that advantage. I think that's going to be your next step. And then I would add relationships. I wrote down relationships because somewhere in that equation, you have to learn how to mingle with people that have money or mingle with people that are going where you want to go. You know what I mean? Mingle is not the right word, but.
I mean, basically you have to network, right? Network is, one time one of my mentors told me, and I was like, I like that. I know I've heard it before, but I didn't really register until someone told you in your face, your network is your network. Right. your network, whatever your network is your net worth. So the people that are around you that are making money, you want to be around those people, right? If people around you are not making money, you don't want to be. So what I kind of learned from my mentor was I learned about the 33 or 33 rule, right? The 33 rule is you have 33% of your time is spent with people that are making less money than you. Okay. That's 33% of your time is spent with those people that are making less money than you. And you spend that time providing value to those people, just like we're doing here. We're helping people and creating value and helping people that want to get to this level, right? The next level is talking to people that are making the same money as you, right? You're in that same level. So you get that 33% of your time should be spent with people that are making the same money as you. And then you have 33% of your time is spent with people that are making more money than you, people that are doing things that you want to be doing. So those are the times, so you split up your time accordingly, right? You still have to spend time with people that are not making money because you don't want to be a dick and you just want to be a rich guy who runs away. You want to be a person that's going to help people. That 33, lift people up. 33% of your time spend it with those that need your help. But then also spend 33% of the time are people that are actually doing what you want to be doing, like we're doing. Me and you are doing things that we want to do, and we're spending 33% of our time doing things that we want to do. And then we spend the rest of our time we're networking with people that are doing things that we are not doing, but they're doing, and they're making more money than us. So then that time is, which I haven't been doing as much as I want to be honest. I've been spending more time with the people that are not making as much money and the people are making as much money as I am. But those people that are making way more money than me, I am going to be doing that. So once I start doing that, And you know that we're gonna be doing that together, and at the same time we're gonna be doing that not only for ourselves but the guys below us, right? Because once we get in contact with these individuals, that I don't even know who I'm gonna meet one day. You know, I might meet Warren Buffett, or I might meet Donald Trump, or I might meet all these high, these entrepreneurs that are like high caliber, like Grant Cardone, all these guys that have made billions. I might meet these
Power
guys and at
players.
power plays, and I'm gonna be all ears and sponge, and I'm gonna say, what am I doing now, and what can I do extra, or what can I do more of to really take it to the next level, right? And to get to the B, right, it's a big journey. It's not as easy. It's as hard as to get to the M, right? I'm saying, like, millionaire to billionaire, to you go from hundredaire. So there's like this rules that I learned about. It's like you're either a dollar heir, a hundred heir, a millionaire, or a billionaire, right? So yeah,
Right.
where are you? Right? Are you making hundreds of dollars? Are you making thousands of dollars? Are you making millions of dollars? Or are you making billions of dollars? So, and I'm talking about like cash flow. It's like, where are you at, right? So I might be in the thousandaire. I might be, I'm trying to get to the millionaire as far as like maybe like cash flow, right? So when you're making millions in cash flow, then you're in a million. Then I think true millionaires, besides having assets of million, true millionaires are millionaire income, right? And I'm saying that maybe I'm already there or not. But at the point is, like, my goal is to go beyond the millionaire and go to the billionaire, right? So you might be in a position where you're making hundreds of thousands, but you want to get that millionaire. So what do you have to do now? What changes do you need to do? Just like Robert's talking about, discipline, get your mindset right, start focusing on what you need to be doing, start spending your time wisely, just like I explained. 33% of your time, spend it with people that are doing more than you. 30% of people are doing the same as you, or better, right? Spend
And
your
I,
time
I
with
I
those
just want to add
individuals.
something. If, like, you don't know how to get in contact with the people that are above you, you can
Yeah,
still just read their books. You can buy their courses. You can be
there you go.
educating yourself with them in this digital age.
And you might not be able
And
to
then
spend time with
eventually
them.
you'll get in the
Yeah.
room maybe with them. But
And that's what I'm saying. Reading the books and reading the knowledge. I felt like that was the most powerful thing I can do. Just, how do I get
yeah,
more information from this individual? How can I get more knowledge from this individual? How do I get more connection? That being in the same room with someone is a different experience. But getting their books, just like you said, I've learned so much just by reading books. I
yeah,
know you have too, Robert. So at the end of the day, like, reading books. Don't people that don't read books, and those are the illiterate ones, right? Now, and I'm
yeah.
not saying like illiterate, they can't read. They're illiterate because they're choosing not to read. Instead, they're choosing to go to a bar, they're choosing to go get a drink, they're trying to get drunk, they're trying to go home, watch TV and watch basketball or baseball all day. They're choosing to do that. This is a choice. If your choices are those, you're probably never going to become a millionaire or even a thousandaire. So
Yeah.
at the end of the day, you're just going to make your 9 to 5 job, like most people are working, and they're trying to survive. And it's really, really, it's sad, but it's really a personal choice.
I think we spit a lot of fire here, man. And I got another thing I got to jump to. I
Yeah,
don't want to talk
but
to you
I,
for
but
a
I,
minute.
but I,
So,
I'm excited about the next level. So please, guys, everybody, join Credit Leverage X. Robert, contact
sweet.
Robert, and we're gonna take it to the next level. He gets investment opportunities soon too.
Yeah, check out creditleveragex.com if you want to get on the path to FU money and wealth. We're here for you. I look forward to seeing you guys on the inside. Shoot us a message. You can always check us out on YouTube, Facebook. We're on all the platforms. But I'll talk to you soon. Let me know if you need anything. Bye.
Awesome, that's fire.